You ever notice something strange? Sometimes the loudest moment is silence. And in this case, that silence wasn't normal. It wasn't grief. It wasn't shock. It was mysterious, almost dangerous. Because when a young man named Tyler Robinson was arrested and accused of murder, charged with one of the most brutal crimes in his state, everyone expected one thing: his family to scream his innocence, cry, fight, demand answers. But instead, they said nothing. Not a word. Not even a whisper. And trust me, that silence sent chills through an entire community. Pause, let that sink in. Why would a family stay silent when the world is calling their son a killer? Well, no one saw what was coming next. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of the most confusing, emotional, and controversial cases you'll ever hear. Because it's not just about a crime. It's about a family swallowed by fear, a courtroom drowning in tension, and a mother who finally broke her silence in the most emotional way possible. And here's the twist: her voice didn't clear her son's name. It did something much more shocking. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to ask yourself the same question millions of people are still asking. Was Tyler Robinson a cold-blooded killer? Or was he a kid the world failed right in front of him? Let's rewind. Tyler gets arrested. The charge: murder. A horrifying act that shattered a family and shook a community. The media, they pounced instantly. Reporters outside the courthouse. Cameras flashing. Everyone hungry for a reaction. And yet, Tyler's parents walked past those cameras like ghosts. No interviews. No tears on the news. No emotional Facebook posts begging for support. Just silence. And you know how people are, silence makes them talk louder. Some whispered they're hiding something. Others said they know he did it. But a small group, they whispered something scarier. What if they were told to stay quiet? Witness protection rumors, federal warnings, whispers of threats. Nobody knew the truth. But the silence became its own story. Until one day, after months, that silence cracked. Tyler's mother stepped forward. Shaking voice, trembling hands, eyes filled with something deeper than pain. And she said just one thing that flipped the entire conversation. My son can never kill a human being. Not didn't. Not would. She said can never. Powerful, right? Or was it desperate? That one statement divided a nation. Was it a mother protecting her baby? Or a woman holding onto the last piece of hope she had left? And just like that, the silence wasn't silence anymore. It became a battle cry and a mystery. But here, where things get even more intense. Because in the next part, we're going to look at who Tyler really was before all of this. And trust me, that's where everything starts to twist. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to subscribe. More shocking stories coming your way. You see, it's easy to judge someone from a headline. Murder suspect. Killer. Dangerous. But here's the thing. Before the mugshot, before the courtroom, before the world pointed fingers, Tyler Robinson was just a kid. And honestly, that's what makes this case so hard to ignore. Let's go back, way back, before the police lights, before the cameras, before the entire internet turned into detectives. Because sometimes, to understand a storm, you need to know what the sky looked like before the clouds rolled in. And trust me, this sky didn't look dangerous at all. Tyler grew up in what most people called a good home. Quiet neighborhood. Church on Sundays. Family dinners. Nothing wild. Just normal. Friends described him as calm, a little reserved, soft-spoken. You know that kid in class who never caused trouble? Yeah, that was him. He wasn't the loud one. Wasn't the popular one either. He was that kid people almost forgot about in a harmless way. But here's the thing nobody wants to say out loud. Sometimes the quietest storms build the loudest damage. And little by little, people around him started noticing changes. First, it was distance. He stopped hanging out. Stopped talking much. You know that look, like someone's body is here, but their mind is somewhere else entirely. Then came the attitude shifts. Short temper. Sleepless eyes. Random mood swings. People close to him, family, neighbors, whispered things like, "He just seems off lately." Or, "I don't know what's going on with him." Nothing extreme, nothing dramatic, just enough to make people squint and think, something's not right. His mom later said, "It was like losing him piece by piece, and I didn't realize until it was too late." That line right there, it hits hard, right? Because that's every parent's nightmare, watching your child fade but not knowing how to reach them. Some blamed stress. Some blamed social isolation. Others believed he was influenced by things online, dark content, toxic conversations, the kind of stuff that finds lonely minds and pulls them deeper. Was it depression, anger, influence, or was it something darker quietly waiting to surface? No one knows for sure. But what everyone does remember is that right before the incident, Tyler wasn't the same kid people used to know. It's like life cracked open and something slipped through. And here's the heartbreaking part. While the world saw a suspect, his mother saw her baby slipping through her fingers long before the police ever did. Imagine that. Imagine knowing something is wrong, but not knowing how to save your own child. That's a pain you can't measure. But hold on, this story isn't finished. Because in the next section, we step into the courtroom. Cold facts, emotional fireworks, and a legal fight that shook everyone watching. You think you know how this goes. Trust me, you don't. So now we're here. Not in the neighborhood, not in the past, but inside a courtroom where every breath feels heavy, and every word can decide a life. Because this is where the world stopped looking at Tyler as someone's son, and started seeing him as a suspect, a threat, a possible killer. Whether he deserved that label or not, that was about to be tested. Courtrooms have this energy, right? It's not loud. It's not dramatic like in movies. It's quiet. Too quiet. And in that silence, every little thing feels intense. A sudden cough, a shuffled paper, a whispered prayer from a mother gripping onto hope like it's oxygen. This wasn't just a trial. It was a battlefield, truth versus fear, evidence versus doubt, emotion versus law. And trust me, no one was ready for what came next. The prosecutor didn't waste time. They painted a picture, sharp, brutal, unforgiving. A planned act. A violent crime. Intent. No accident. No mistake. Evidence appeared one after the other like punches. DNA traces. Digital messages. A timeline the state claimed proved everything. Screenshots. Phone records. Footage from the night that prosecutors said showed movement, motive. And no room for innocence. And every time the jury's eyes shifted toward Tyler, you could feel a weight in the air, like everyone was silently asking the same question. Is this really who he became? But the defense fought back hard. They said the case wasn't as clean as it looked. That digital trails can mislead. That presence doesn't equal guilt. That behavior isn't proof of violence. They brought up mental health concerns. They questioned witness reliability. They pulled apart timelines, argued angles, challenged assumptions. And then the emotional blow. They talked about a young man losing himself, alone, unseen, untreated. Not evil, just broken. And maybe, just maybe, pushed by forces he couldn't control. Some jurors leaned forward. Some leaned back. Some closed their eyes like they were fighting their own thoughts. And through all of it, Tyler sat there. Expression tight. Eyes searching the floor, the table, the air, anywhere, but faces staring at him like they already made up their minds. And from the gallery, his mother watched, fingers shaking, eyes full of fear but holding on to one terrifying truth. This courtroom could take her son away forever. And then came the moment. The prosecution lifted their final file. The defense stepped back. The judge's voice echoed like thunder. Everything, every detail, every memory, every second of the nightmare pointed to one thing. A verdict was coming. And whether he was guilty or innocent, somebody's life was about to break. Breathe. Because the next part, it's where emotions explode when Tyler's mother finally speaks not just to the court, but to the whole world. A letter that didn't save him, but changed everything. ready for the final chapter. You ever watch someone hold in pain for so long that when it finally comes out, it feels like the whole world stops? That's what happened here. Because after months of silence, after watching the court tear her son apart piece by piece, after feeling the world judge her family like they weren't human, Tyler's mother finally spoke. And trust me, when she did, it didn't just echo through the courtroom. It shook people. It divided them. It broke hearts and sparked anger all at once. This wasn't a press conference. This wasn't a dramatic speech. It was a letter. Soft words on paper, written by a mother who felt like she was screaming into the universe, begging someone, anyone, to listen. And when it was read aloud, everything changed. Picture the room. Silent, heavy. Reporters leaning forward. Families holding hands. Tyler's mother clutching a tissue, failing to hold steady. The voice reading the letter cracked a little as the words flowed. My son can never kill a human being. Such a simple sentence. But in that moment, it felt like a punch. She talked about her little boy, not the defendant, not the suspect, her child. How he used to help her carry groceries. How he prayed beside her as a kid. How he loved quietly, lived quietly, and slipped away quietly when his mind began to crumble. She admitted she missed the signs. That she saw him withdrawing, changing, hurting, but didn't know how to save him. She said, if he is guilty, life has already punished him more than any court can. And if he is innocent, then my silence has betrayed him. Imagine writing that. Imagine holding that in your chest. The room didn't breathe. Some wiped tears. Some looked away. Some shook their heads not in disbelief but in heartbreak. Because this wasn't just about guilt versus innocence anymore. It was about a mother grieving a son who was still alive, but already lost to her. And this is the part that stunned everyone. She didn't beg. She didn't fight. She didn't scream, my son is innocent. She accepted the tragedy. Accepted the pain. Accepted whatever truth the world believed would come next. But she refused, absolutely refused, to let her son be remembered as a monster without a voice. Whether Tyler was guilty or not. Her message was clear. Do not forget he is human. And that line still haunts people. In the end, this case didn't just split the courtroom. It split the public. Some people saw a grieving mother protecting her child. Others saw denial. Some saw mental health tragedy. Others saw cold reality. But one thing's certain, this case isn't just about crime. It's about humanity. Fear. Mistakes. Silence, and the moment it finally breaks. And somewhere out there, a mother still prays the world will remember her son as more than a headline. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to subscribe, more shocking stories coming your way.